Yeah, you brought interesting views up. I almost think of like baseball and football, as you got like lower ranks where the higher ranks feed from. You know, Hollywood really didn't have too much of that. They just, you know, they had their special places where their talent from. But now you have YouTube where Hollywood can look at it and then draw a huge amount of talent from. But now you can see the negative effects. People can start addressing these problems. So YouTube is actually more of a positive thing if you look at it more closely. Because before you never could find out.
It has a lot to do with ego, and people are jumping into it like an ego war, and they have to take sides, and they have to defend somebody or see somebody as being smeared, or you can't attack this person. And then the reasons for the attack is going to be some kind of perceived unfairness in the system, and it's either about popularity or the financial rewards, or an even more complicated situation, the level of realness of any individual who's a target. So taking Lisa Nova, for example, she's not really perceived as being that real because she's not in touch with the whole community. In fact, it's impossible for her to be that way. So whatever she's doing behind the scenes with her team, because it's not just her, she's not an individual. Whatever they're doing is according to a plan of how to reap the financial rewards and to keep the attention of people so her popularity stays up, and also some kind of semblance of realness and approachability. And that's why they did this whole interview with Dax Flame, because he's supposed to be such a lovable young lad, I guess. Now, when people start to take sides on that issue, you always have the popularity, which is on her side, and then as more people are going to go against her and her success, you have the attacks, and then you have the counteroffensive, which is happening now with Ian Crossland. And I'm always just amazed at some activity that people can get on the hating. And I'm always getting feedback when that happens, or when I'm talking to somebody. Like, it just boggles my mind that the haters can come out of the woodwork like that and make their comments and continue this type of behavior. I've never really seen that. I've seen it, I mean, the most anyone's ever really bothered any of my channels, maybe a few days, not even a week, well, 2 weeks. And that's nothing. That's like someone coming up and swatting and then like running for cover and, taunting me from behind a boulder and then disappearing, And it's like, well, that's not serious. That also intrigues me because just making it relative to everything else that's going on. Now, let's step out of this. Let's step out of the drama that is the YouTube inner world. And let's look at the bigger world. How do people see this when they're not involved with YouTube? Well, take myself, for example. I can be detached. I don't give a flying crap about the site. I really don't. And what goes on there is not relative to real life or progress in the physical world. So I'm looking at it as just a bunch of people that are too caught up in themselves, and they're taking entertainment too seriously. Either looking at it as valid entertainment on the internet, or looking at it as, well, it's not real enough. It's not a real documentary enough, which is possible on the internet. Something raw, something true to life, you know, with no spin, no glamour, no gloss, no editing. And they're just taking it way too serious. I don't give a crap. I don't give a rat's ass, is what the world is saying. It's people with too much time on their hands. So, to wrap up this entire theory that I'm giving you, I believe that this whole process is like smelting of iron. You know, you have to get the dross out. The dross is the part of the silver that has to burn away so that you have pure silver. And in this smelting process, to purify the silver metal, you go through all these things. So what's being created in YouTube is a new form of celebrity, a whole new culture that can exist in a virtual world, and it's better than TV and movies because it's interactive. And I think that that's the whole struggle that's going on. I think, to pinpoint it, people want to know that they can connect somehow to the celebrities that are being created. And they're getting angry because they don't know if they're really connecting. They don't know if they are the celebrity that everybody's supposed to connect with. So we're going back and forth, and really that line is so blended now. We're all interacting amongst ourselves, and this competition took hold. Somebody rises out and becomes a celebrity, and YouTube has actually pushed that on us because that's what's driving their numbers. That's what's driving their entire media machine. They're like the new Hollywood. So as they create these celebrities to put over us, we're complaining that, where's the interaction? Where's that level playing field? Where's that kind of community thing where there's nobody above us? And we're attacking that. That's what's going on here. And so ultimately, I've declared a war on Lisa Nova. And I'm guaranteed to win. I'm going to destroy her, or I'm going to get a surrender and an apology. You can guarantee that. Because it has to do with this whole fluid situation that's evolving, this whole thing about celebrities and interaction and her accountability, her communication to the people that make a loud enough noise. So it's all in good fun, you know. Take everything with a grain of salt. It's not like it's not going to affect your life if you don't want it to. That we really have to be wise to truly realize and understand the difference between reality and our organic life versus the entertainment sphere that we're creating online. We live in cyberspace with our identities. And there's some kind of a connection with the real life, but you can always separate it. You always have to be able to separate it. You got to be able to shift back and forth, but they can never blend so much that you get confused as to which one you're in, because that's going to lead to insanity. It's okay to be in the both worlds, and going back and forth and understanding that you're in that, but it's sort of like dreams. When you're dreaming, you don't really want to think that you're awake, and vice versa. When you're awake, you don't want to go through the world saying, oh, this is a dream, I'm just sleeping. No. That's a sign of insanity, and we're not going to do that with YouTube either. How many minutes is that?
it's almost 10 minutes.
Oh, man.